Blessings. Welcome to today's daily devotional. Today we're in Genesis 38 through 40. A lot of things going on here, and I'm sure these stories are very familiar to you. These are the kind of Sunday school stories that we grew up with, that we all know forwards and backwards. But today, um, when I looked at it, I see stories of crime, stories of injustice, stories of jail and prisons, and just all the things that law enforcement deal with. So it was a really cool read as far as law enforcement goes. Chapter 38, we see Judah and Tamar. Uh, Man, what a weird story this is. Tamar is a daughter-in-law of Judah. Now, Judah is one of the 12 tribes of Israel, and Judah is the tribe that King David comes from and Jesus comes from. It's that family tree, that family line traced all the way back to Judah. So he's the patriarch of this family. Um, but I love the fact that we see Tamar, this helpless girl who's picked to be the son of Judah's firstborn, and he is evil. And so God rescues her, and the Bible even says he protects her from him. But instead of removing her, or he protects her by the death of her husband. So the father-in-law, Judah, decides to give her to another son who basically rapes her. Um, and he dies too because of his evil ways. So this poor girl's been abused, but God continues to protect her and rescue her and provides a way for her. She becomes, I guess, basically the wife of Judah because they have twin sons. And Perez is one of the men in this family tree, this line of Jesus, who, all these generations past. Perez is one of Jesus's great 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 grandfathers, David's great great grandfather. So it's a really interesting story how God kind of puts all this together. Then we jump into chapter 39, and we start the story of Joseph in Egypt. Last we saw Joseph, he was being sold into slavery, got this human trafficking thing, and now he's in Egypt, but he has found favor with his master Potiphar. Potiphar's wife thinks he's sexy, whatever. She wants to sleep with him. He knows it's wrong. And I love the statement that he makes. He does not want to sin against God. Not that he doesn't want to sin against Potiphar, his master, or anything. He's got that vision where he's looking up vertically. He's not looking at, the horizon, people around him. He's looking up to God, and he realizes, man, if I do this sin, I'm sinning against God because God's holy. It's his rules. It's his justice. So if I sin, yeah, I'm basically sinning right to the people or against the people around me, but ultimately I am sinning against God, and he recognizes this. And man, it's such a cool example of keeping a horizontal vision in view. A vertical view, uh, looking up to God instead of this horizontal, keeping your eyes on your circumstances and allowing that to dictate your faith. We don't ever want to do that. So we've seen God show favoritism to the righteous in Tamar. God is no respecter of man or their titles. The fact that these evil men were part of the tribe of Judah, God didn't care. He rescued Tamar. She was the righteous one. Here we see Joseph in a struggle with Potiphar's wife, and she's doing evil things and just injustice, accusing him of something he didn't do. She hates him now because he's refused her, but God protects the righteous. He protects Joseph. Chapter 40, Joseph goes to jail, but God continues to protect him, and I love the fact that God's blessings are not dependent on where we are, what my surroundings are, or what my status is. God doesn't care about that. He continues to bless us whether we're in jail or whether we're, you know, high-ranking officials in departments or in government. Uh, God blesses the righteous no matter who they are, where they are, or what rank they have, and just some really cool lessons that come out of these three chapters. Hope you had a chance to read them. Tomorrow we're going to be in Genesis chapter 41 and 42. We'll see what kind of law enforcement takeaways we have from it. See if it contains anything with crime and injustice and prison officials and things like that. It just this is a really cool read and a good time for us to be in the Bible. So be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.